Okay, I think we are live. And we'll just get into Facebook so I can see the comments. It's a bit slow. Hope you've had a good lunch. It's taking a while to come up. Okay. Hi Bev. Pop that there. Well, I still haven't cleaned my craft room, but I had yummy nachos for lunch and just had a bit of a rest and a coffee to begin with. So I'm sure we've all had a bit of attempt at doing shaker cards, and some being successful and some not. But this is what I found is just the easiest way to assemble the shaker card. So I think I've got everything. Now, I'm not quite sure if you're aware, we have all different shapes. So there's the circle, the heart and the star. And there's also, with our stitched square frames and the rectangles, you can actually buy the foam and acetate to go with those ones as well. And in particular with these three shapes here, you do get extra components that you can make your own little bits to go in the shaker cards as well if you want. So that's really good that way. I tend to use the sequins, and what else do we have? Stars, and they're all different colors. So an important and integral part of shaker cards is the little powder. Oh, I can never think of the name of it. Isn't that terrible? It's the powder. Hi Annie, how are you? Because it's an anti-static pouch. There you go. Because it just makes them slide a bit better. But what I do is, whenever I buy new sequins, these are just little cheap boxes that I've bought from Shiploads. I don't have an empty one to show you, but before I put anything in there, I actually put my anti-static pouch in there, pop the lid on, and just shake it around, and you get a whole lot of loose powder in the bottom of it. And then I pour my sequins in and then just shake it around. So then you've already got a little bit of anti-static powder in them. And also recommend that when you open the box, make sure you put the seal back in, because I have spilt so many of these. I've just caught the edge and had sequins everywhere. So maybe it's just me, I don't know. Anyway, we're going to make a super quick card. I have tried to prep as much as I can. So when you get your pack of foam and acetate in there, you will find that the acetate actually has on one side of it this film, and I guess it's sort of so it doesn't get scratched. And the easiest way that I've found to find out which side it's on and to peel it off is if you just sort of with your fingernail scratch the plastic, and it does start to lift. That way you know which side it's on. I don't know if you can hear that. Our large cat is actually on the other side of the windows of my craft room complaining. So he obviously wants to come in, and he is going to have to wait. But that's okay. That's just a side note. Okay, so we're going to make a cute little shaker card really quickly. So you have your foam. Now with Close to My Heart, rather than just give us the circle, they've given us some extra foam squares in the middle. So that's a really cool addition to buying the circle or the shaped foam tape. But the easiest way to build your shaker card without getting your shape out of, because if you peel that off it will get out of skew. It won't, you know, sometimes when you pull it off it sort of stretches. So what we're going to do is where the circle is on the edge of all these other foam squares, is I just get my fingernail in there and just sort of run it around just to break any of the paper that's attached to the circle and the little foam squares. It doesn't get everything, but it just breaks it up. And then we're going to peel off just the circle edge. So then we've still got the foam in the middle. I'm going to lift that up so you can see. Where's the camera? So we've just lifted up the thin edge and we've left all the foam in the middle. And then we're going to take our acetate and with this plastic film on the top, so this one doesn't have plastic film on it, it's just the top one, we're going to line this up. Now you're probably going to get a shot of my head, because I'm trying to line it up a bit. Now if you think, oh, I don't have a steady hand, you can, and I have done this, get your big block and the flat side, so not the one that has the hand grip but the flat side there. And if you just I'm just looking at the camera so I've got it in view, so you just sort of bump that to the edge there. That way it's going to be really hard not to get my head in the way. You can then bump this up to the edge as well, and so you get the bottom lined up and sort of just rock it round that way. Looks like I've got an eyelash cord in there, and then we just press it down. So now the acetate is stuck to that circle. So then, and that's going to hold it in place when we lift the back off. So when we lift this up, so the back bit, we're just going to try and, let me lift it up a little bit higher. Just stand on my tippy toes so I can see. So what we're just pulling it back there, and then it just, because we sort of broke that seal, it just pulls off like that. Isn't that amazing? And then you've got these to use for another card, or you can use them as the foam tape on whatever you're going to embellish them. But that's just a quick way of getting it off. So we're going to put that aside there, move that block out of the way, and then we're going to do the back piece. Now you can just use a plain white card, and you can stamp on it if you want, or you could put an image on it. But lately I've been doing coloured backgrounds. So I have prepared something earlier. So this is the large circle, so let me just, it's showing as a solid outline, but you get this die cut, so it cuts out the same size circle as this, and you get this one which has a stitch on it, and that gives you the edge to hide Let me lift that up. Hide the tape, foam tape showing through. So I've also, the other thing that I've been doing is using up my old papers. So you remember years ago in our paper packs we would get PML cards on a sheet of 12 by 12. So I've just been using different backgrounds of those for my shaker cards. Just a fun way of using them up. Because I don't do my shaker cards in kits because A, it'd be expensive with the foam and acetate to put in kits. Oh, maybe that's something that I can look at, that people just want to make a one-off card. I just digress then. But yeah, I've just been using them up that way. So I've cut out my large circle, so that is what is going to be on my back bit. And then so what we're going to do is we're going to grab the anti-static pouch and I'm just going to tap it in the middle because I don't want it on the edge. I will wipe that around a little bit. So you can see the loose powder in there. And because I've got a multi-coloured background, I am going to put these multi-coloured rainbow sequins. I should have grabbed my tweezers. With the shaker cards, and I guess that's why the star ones are really good, because they're flat, where the sequins I guess like a little plate or something. So I haven't been using the large sequins because you want the sequins to have space to move around, and if anything gets caught under the large ones, they tend to get a bit stuck. So I'm just going to take these bigger ones out. Hi Cody, how are you? See if we can get some smaller ones in there. And I think the key is less is more. Like that's too many, but I'm going to be picking some out. These tweezers are amazing, and we have them back in stock, which is awesome. I think that might be. Hi Katrina. You have to watch the start of it where I showed you how to attach the I think that will be more than enough. Attach the foam to the acetate. Okay, I am going to get just a little bit of a cloth just to wipe around the edge. Just to remove some of that powder. Okay, so we're going to turn it over. And again, let's just use the block to steady the hand. So I want my, it's not really going to matter because I can spin it round. But if you have writing or whatever, I guess it doesn't really matter because you can spin around. Just forget what I just said then. Okay, so I've just pushed that against the block. And then I'm going to do the same. I don't so I did it again. I did hair this time. So then it hasn't got the big sequins in it, so it just slides a bit easier. And with the anti-static powder in there, they're not sticking to the plastic. Now, if you haven't got a super steady hand and you can see a little bit of the edge there, I just go by, and I've lost my scissors. Here we go. You can just trim it up a little bit, because you will see it. Perfect. Get that out of the way. So that's your shaker card done. So we'll just grab our card. Like I said, I've already pre-cut some things just so it's not a long video. And I think I'm going to go the darker side down. Gosh, I think we've had, I won't say 4 seasons in one day because it hasn't been super hot, but we've certainly had 3 seasons. Well, we have in Launceston. It has bucketed down. We've had the winds. Okay, so my pink flamingo mat is 4 by 5 1/4, and then my soft pink little diamond shaped paper is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. So I will take the plastic off now, and I'm going to add the die that cut out the shape that then covers the top. I have just used normal Tombow to do that. I have seen some people use the Tombow glue. I haven't had a problem with the tape. The glue, if you get it caught on, if it oozes out, then you've got the hassle of wiping it away. So I'm happy with that. It tends to work. Again, if you don't have a steady hand, you could use the block again. Still got a little bit of yellow poking through. It is very pink, Bev. I actually haven't used much pink of late, but I was feeling pink, but not for long. You might put the green up there. Okay, now if you haven't watched the video from this morning, I actually thought I could use some of my leftover yellow flowers and leaves. So and I was going to stamp something on it. We just might do just a simple one. Lots of blocks envelopes that have got stamps on at the moment because I'm prepping or attempting to prep cards. Okay, and I've lost my foam. I won't just stamp that just yet. I'll just work out how we're going to place some of these. Maybe one over here. Maybe up there, and I'll put it down here. Okay, let's just stamp this. Oh, might help if I hit the paper. That I've just stamped that on my scrap paper, and it looks like I've even put it on at a wrong angle, so let's just do that again. Much better. So normally I would have just stamped on that paper before putting it on, but I'm sure we'll be able to, it'll still stamp well. Perfect. Okay, let's quickly build the card. So I think we're going to put it in about the middle there. So just use tape. About there, I reckon. And let's add our flowers. Small one up there. And I should have, didn't think about it at the time, but I should have cut some bigger circles for this. Now where's my foam extras? So by using these on this card, you know that you've got the right thickness foam tape to work. So I'm going to put that one on there. Going to use just a couple of the smaller ones. What do I do with it? And just put it on the leaves. I'm sticking the majority of it on the the majority of it is going to sit over the shaker card. So again, being mindful of the edge of the card, that when it folds over, it's not leaning over that. I'm just going to add a glue dot to this little one, because that will go straight onto the shaker. bend that up a little bit. Put that in the middle. Sorry, turn it off camera. And we need some leaves. I don't stick every part of a flower or leaf down because I like, you know, leaves and flowers aren't flat in real life, so I like them to have a little bit of a movement, I guess. Sometimes you just have to trim them down so they sit in a little bit better. What sort of middle colour should I have? I think I'm going to leave that without a leaf. Just let me have a look. So, just trying to see if I've got a tiny little centre. I don't know if it, oh, that's too big, I think. Yeah, it's going to be too big. Suggestions. I am going to these are really old, but I think they might work a little bit better. They're the old gold fleck gems. And we put another big one there, or a little one, like a little one there, I think. Now, if you don't like that, then, you know, you could stick it down a little bit more, put some foam tape there. Let me just put just a little bit more. That under there. Just makes it a bit more flatter. Move all that away. So there you have it. Super easy, quick shaker card. It's not out of skew or anything like that, but super quick and easy. But highly recommend an anti-static pouch if you don't own one, because if I hadn't have used it, they would have stuck to the roof of the acetate. So I hope you have a fabulous rest of the Saturday and the weekend, and hopefully you'll tune in on Thursday night to our creative craft group. Yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks, Alana. You've just popped in. You'll have to watch the replay. Only super short. Look forward to seeing your creations. So thanks for joining. Bye, ladies.